Each bundle contains a tourniquet, 2 alcohol swabs, 2 syringes, 1 water, and 1 cooker.
Every day, hundreds of these bundles are being used at safe consumption sites. This one in Victoria opened its doors almost a year ago. I toured the facility recently with BC's Public Health Officer, Dr. Bonnie Henry.
They've had over 46,000 visits since it opened. There's an average of 3 to 4 people a week who have overdosed at the facility, and like all of our facilities around the province, there have been no deaths associated with any of our supervised consumption sites or our overdose prevention sites. So that's one of the important things for me. These are critical needs, and they're working to keep people alive.
Still, people are dying. In fact, about 4 people die from a drug overdose in our province every day. 1,500 OD'd last year.
And we know that if we had not put in the measures that we have, like these overdose prevention sites, supervised consumption, the naloxone program that we have, that as many as 4,700 more people would have died, which is frightening.
Next week, Dr. Henry will release a report pushing for more measures to tackle the ongoing public health crisis, like pharmaceutical alternatives to street drugs and decriminalization for simple possession.
We now know that about 80% of the people who are dying now are mostly young men who are at home and they're using alone and they're not telling people. Their families and friends tell me that they didn't know they were using, or they didn't know they had relapsed. And part of that is shame, and part of that is stigma, and it's fear. It's fear of getting a criminal record, of being thrown in jail.
Of course, drug laws are under federal jurisdiction, but Dr. Henry wants the province to divert addiction-related offenses from the legal system and instead connect people with health resources, something those on the front lines say has been neglected for too long. And for the estimated 115,000 people in BC dealing with opioid disorders, the kinds of measures that could save their lives. And as we told you earlier this week, there are growing calls for a so-called safe supply of drugs, and I expect Dr. Henry is going to address that in her report next Wednesday. All right, we'll be watching for it. And if you missed any of those stories, you can find them online at cbc.ca/BC or on our YouTube channel, CBC Vancouver.